Hey family, Brian Sangala here from Brian Sangala Events Specialist. Wanted to hop on today to share an encouraging story and an encouraging talanoa that I had recently at one of the events I emceed, which was the Tuli Takes Flight and Pacific Education Foundation Scholarship Ceremony last Friday, the 4th of July, at Fale Samoa in Mangele. The event was showcasing and highlighting a number of scholars, recipients, receivers of scholarships through Tuli Takes Flight, Ministry of Education and Pacific Education Foundation, covering a number of different areas of study and the scholarships helping scholars to continue their journey in education. Now, two of the speakers that spoke at the ceremony, lovely Tokelau sisters by the name of, oh my gosh, that's what happens when you go live and you think, okay, there was one sister in particular that I wanted to highlight, and so proudly representing Atafu, Fakaofo, Nukunonu, Olohega, come on now. And one of the lovely young ladies came up to me after when we were having mea ai by the name of Marima Johnson, or Marima Johnson, my apologies, but her Tokelau name, Matalika, and she mentioned the name Lepaio during her speech. Now, when I went up after her speech, I was actually quite a little bit emotional, because for many of my generation growing up in the 70s and 80s in Porirua, Mr. Lepaio, leader of the Tokelau community, had such a great impact on us. My first experience with Mr. Lepaio was when he came to Rangikura Primary School when I was a little lad, and teaching us the road safety, that's it, road safety education back in the 70s at Rangikura School, and also helping us, for those that were crossing guards, learning the process of being a crossing guard, making sure that traffic either side, and then remember the old signs up, okay. And so I remember Mr. Lepaio, he was such a great community leader, and of course part of the original Atafu group. Please correct me if I'm wrong to any of my Tokelau family watching. Part of the group that created or led fundraise for the Matawala Hall in Porirua, which opened officially, I think, in 1987, and later incorporated Atafu, incorporated group, a great community. But Mr. Lepaio, a traffic officer, as well as a city councillor, Porirua city councillor, if I remember correctly. And so it was great to see the connection from Marima, granddaughter, who is now studying aviation down in the South Island in Rangiora, and she came up to me and we were having a little talk, and she said, I wanted to talk more about my grandpa, but I knew that if I did, I would just break up, I would break down and become very emotional. I wouldn't be able to finish my speech. And I said, I totally understand that, because again, Mr. Lepaio, such a great leader, advocate, a visionary, not only for Tokelau community, but for our wider Porirua community. And it's the legacy that continues, this connection, how many years later, the work that Mr. Lepaio and others did. And in general, if we look at the legacy that is left behind by our mātua, and the footsteps in who we walk and the shoulders upon whom we stand, always citing that 660 song, don't forget your roots, my friend. So it's so incredible to see the next generation of Lepaio, and the inspiration for her in aviation. She's studying towards becoming a helicopter pilot, and she's wanting to take that skill to serve the Tokelau community back in Tokelau, because we, as many of us know, Tokelau doesn't currently have a what is it, a landing strip as such. And so the only way currently is to catch a ferry, which I think takes about 2 days from Apia to Tokelau and that. So just wanted to hop on and to highlight that, the legacy of those that go before us and the great work that they do, the sacrifice, the tautua in creating, laying that foundation upon which we, as this current generation, can attain higher heights, but also lay a foundation and continue that legacy for the next generation. So there you go, family. And to all our young people watching this, you have a great purpose. You have a great purpose, in spite of what you may even say to yourself a lot of times in your head. It's very simple. Keep it simple. What is it that you want to see? Speak what you want to see. You have been blessed with gifts and talents, and you have a great purpose. God has a great purpose for your life. Myself, maybe just the one gift in being able to use this to use this mouth, but trying every day to be faithful in the gifts and the talents that I've been blessed with, which God continues to open doors, and then I can walk through those doors and serve in the gifts and the talents that I have been blessed with. So thank you everyone for watching. I can see some comments. OMG, hi Glory's Dad, hi person who's watching, and all these other people that are watching. Hey, while I'm online as well, for all our Tokelau community, don't forget the 26th of July. The 26th of July, Saturday the 26th of July, the Tokelau Royale Winter Ball, which is taking place at the Malaiola Community Centre in Mangere, 16 Waukauri Place in Mangere, from 6 p.m. through to 11 p.m. If you go to the ATSI, Auckland Tokelau Society Incorporated, you'll be able to see all the details to purchase a ticket. Now, tickets are only $120, and you can get a table for $1,200. A lot of people watching going, $120, what the heck? But yet, you don't bat an eyelid when it's KFC. You don't bat an eyelid when you spend $120 on bakery or movies or any number of monthly subscriptions. Come on now. The cause, a very worthy cause. Auckland Tokelau Society Incorporated are fundraising for a dedicated Tokelau hall here in Auckland to serve the Tokelau community, as Matawala Hall in Porirua has served generations of Tokelau in Porirua and the wider community since 1987. So please, for all our Tokelau community in Auckland, go to the Auckland Tokelau Society Incorporated Facebook page where they have all the details. So here we go. The call going out to any of our Toke families. Come on now. Bakers, Fulis, who else do we have? Atoni, come on now. Ariu, come on now. I already said bakers. Patelesios, Risati, Perezes, Pereiras, Ikenacios. Come on now. Call going out to all our Tokes in Auckland that used to play for Richmond and any number of Tokelau rugby teams there. And then, of course, for any of our Tokelau community from Porirua, if you ever used to play for the Tokelau national team club, St. George Dragons in Porirua, come on now, you know what I'm talking about. Support for a worthy cause, again, to raise funds for a dedicated Tokelau hall in Auckland to serve the Tokelau community, the Tokelau diaspora in Auckland. Awesomeness. You should be a news presenter. Well, I did work in media for the last 9 years at Pacific Media Network. Oh, might as well touch on that. It was so great. I still have many, many fond memories of my time at Pacific Media Network as host on 531 PI, beginning with Pacific Breakfast. started off 2015, and then in the latter years, co-hosting with my Fijian sister, Nemai Tangidaking Bao, on Pacific Days. Over 9 years, was so blessed to highlight and to share literally thousands and thousands of stories from across our global Pasifika diaspora, and examples of stories that I always like to cite, especially at an event where young people are to encourage and to inspire. Back in 2018, was blessed to highlight the story of Tristan Mona at the time, who was the first Kiwi Pasifika to win the Microsoft PowerPoint Global Competition. He beat out over 800,000 entrants from over 90 countries, and he was the first Kiwi to do that as well. Another great story that I like to share at events is Matamua Loretta Washington, again, whom I spoke with in 2018. She was born and raised in Otara, the daughter of a Whaiwheau, and at the time that I spoke with her, she was the highest ranking Polynesian officer in the US Armed Forces, attaining the rank of Chief Master Sergeant, in charge of a base in Arizona, serving a community of over 50,000 people. And then more recently, there was Chef Henry Onesimo, the founder and head chef at Talanoa restaurant in Parnell or Ponsonby last year. He won a prestigious award for top restaurant in New Zealand. Very proud Samoan. Again, another one, Angi Sion, co-founder and director of Drink the Milgi, a part of a group of young men from Otara, born and raised, 274 proud, and Drink the Milgi. I spoke to them when they had just secured a contract with Foodstuffs to supply Drink the Milgi, the first Pasifika Māori health drink, across 22 outlets, 22 Woolworths outlets across Auckland. And so these are some of the many stories from across our Pasifika diaspora that I've been able to share. I was able to share during my time as a broadcaster with Pacific Media Network, 531 PI, New FM, and 10 dedicated Pacific language programs. E kai mo atai au. Hagetai lahi lele. Come on. Hey, is it still, I think it might be still Kiribati Language Week too, eh? So let me just double check on here. Kiribati Language Week, when was that? Kiribati Language Week, the 6th to the 12th of July. So to all our Kiribati, let's see if we still got it. Kemne benene mudi in Dingabong, mete kukudea besna kwaimi, o kan besa raba ibu kindro ko mesna benen te karoi me na kakabaya, te mudi, te roi, te tabo mua. So that one going out to all our Kiribati community that are watching as well. What else have we got? Might just go through some of these comments now that I can see them. Hi, cousin Ma'a. Hope all is well. Please send our love to the family. Yes. And who's that? Okay, some people don't put their names, but others. Thank you so much for that comment. Really appreciate it. Good. And also big shout out while I'm talking about Tokelau and also talking about Purirua. Always got to rep the PR. Always got to rep my hometown. For those that are watching and you may not know who I am, my name is Ma'a Brian Sangala, born and raised in Purirua, Ascot Park, Purirua East, 18 Conclusion Street. But don't go there now because we haven't lived there for many years. I think it's a Cambodian family who has a food truck. Many people from Ascot and Porirua may be familiar with the place, but you think, they own that house, but we were the first owners. We built that garage and we built that brown fence. and attending e whakasa Waihemo back in the days when the whaiwhiao was none other than Nuritana Tanielu and his lovely wife Lonise Tanielu. A number of years they led e whakasa Waihemo before moving to Auckland and leading the e whakasa in Grey Lynn. So many great memories growing up in P-Town during the 70s and 80s, which I dare say was the golden era, and as a New Zealand born, first generation New Zealand born, so very, very good. If there is nothing, OG gangster. Nah, I wasn't a gangster, but here's a funny thing. I didn't realise, so growing up in Porirua, born and raised, Tairangi Kindergarten, Rangikura Primary School, Waitangiroa Intermediate, Aotea College. I didn't actually realise until I left Porirua, learned many years later, the biggest chapter of the mongrel mob was actually Porirua. And when I first heard that, I went, oh wow, that actually explains a lot. Growing up, I was seeing mongies everywhere. It's like, oh my gosh. And I think, what is it, the turn-off for the new motorway, if you take the turn-off at Waitangiroa Mall, when you're coming down, you can see the top of the roof of the pad there at Waitangiroa Mall. So, kia ora for that. Kia ora. It's so funny, this new major motorway and the first turn off to exit to go to Porirua, a suburb in Porirua. The first thing you see coming down the hill is the mangi pad at the mall. So yes, very good. Different time though, growing up in Porirua. One of the many memories of Waitangiroa Intermediate, which is a kura kaupapa school now, Māori full immersion school, but back in the day, what was the years I'd attended? This is really showing my age. 82 and 83 were the years that I attended, and we had what was the adventure playground. This playground, if you ever see photos of it, 100% this thing would never have been built in 2025. I don't know how they even built it back in the early 80s, but it was a 4-5-story wooden playground, and it was the largest wooden playground in the whole of Australasia at the time. Kids came from all over Porirua to play at our adventure playground, and oh man, we had so many great memories playing there. I've got a scar here. I don't know if you can see that scar, but one of the tire rides, or that jungle gym tire swing thing, went to jump and then landed on the concrete and had this, and I was running back to the Marlikos house, one of the family, Marikos, hey, shout out to the Marlikos, and I was running past our house, which was at 18 Conclusion Street, to the Marlikos, because I didn't want my mum to see me, and she just happened to be out in the front yard doing some gardening. She saw me, and it was the old, Ma! And I was covering my face while the blood was coming down my face. So, and I went to the Malikos and get them to patch me up before I head back to Waitangiroa Intermediate. So, yeah, one of the very great memories. I suppose in my latter years now, I really get to appreciate the upbringing that I did have prior to social media, before the advent of social media. Here's one for the young people. Guys, remember, face to face, not face to book. How's that for a t-shirt? Face to face, not face to book. Come on now. Growing up in an era of the 70s and 80s where, man, kids, we just hung out down at the playground. Everybody's playing, all the neighbours, and many of the people that I grew up with and went to school with from kindergarten all the way through to college, when I'm back home, especially doing events back in Porirua, catch up and talk like, no time has elapsed, and yeah, really, really great memories, and really appreciating my upbringing, my childhood. I mean, if we talk about Pasifika in general and as Samoans growing up, come on now. Yeah, a lot of trauma. Come on. I've got the battle scars. Don't get me started on White Sunday. Roto Tamati. How was it that as a 6-7-year-old... Oh, here we go. But we're going to go because we're live. How was it as a 6 or 7-year-old, you're trying to learn a pepa, a kauloko, a Bible verse for our non-Samoan speakers? And Mum is teaching me, or what they call teach, and it's the old, okay, o lea li'i o lo'u leo Okay, one time wrong, and she goes, okay, koi whai. Second time, o lea li'i o lo'o, bang. And that's how I learnt. I learnt with the soft, hard forehand, backhand, elbow, and maybe for our generation, that's how we deal with the trauma. Yes, I actually have been to counselling, but we tend to laugh it off in that. But I say one thing, growing up as a Samoan Pasifika in the 70s and 80s, a lot of resilience. Going through a lot of ups and downs over 5 decades on this earth. But one thing I thank my parents for, they taught me the value of hard work. Whatever success I have attained in this life, and I don't have any qualifications. I was a student, adult student at drama school, but that was in 2000. I went to drama school as a 30-year-old. I was the only person that was married in my class, along with the only person that had children. But one thing that I learned from my parents and was modelled by my parents, and no doubt many of our parents that are watching, the ethic of hard work. The ethic of hard work. And this really came into play for me when I worked at DHL Express, the #1 logistics company in the world. Yeah, I said that, FedEx. I said that, what you going to do? What you going to do? So I was blessed to work at DHL Express for 4 years from 2008, and many great lifelong friends made there. I started off in customer services, and then I transitioned to the sales team. Started off, and my first job was as a telemarketer, cold call. And so the KPIs, the key performance indicators, every day had to make 65 calls. Can you imagine that? Making 65 calls, getting 65 rejections every day, going back for more. But hey, again, firstborn generation New Zealand born Samoan, bro, I eat rejection. We ate rejection. So it was nothing. Every day, 65 calls. Hello. Sometimes you wouldn't even get past it. Hello. Hi, it's Brian Sangala here from DHL Express. Hello. So did that for a few months, and then there was an opportunity to apply for a telesales position. It was amazing, but pressure like no other pressure. When I joined the telesales team, or got a promotion from telemarketer to telesales, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, where? Just so happened in the first week or two that I joined, there were a number of staff that were let go, and then others resigned. And so my initial portfolio of about 20 businesses that I was in charge of ended up being 200 businesses was part of my portfolio, just for the fact that we didn't have enough people in our team. But man, it was we had fun. My supervisor at the time, Mr. Alan Brackenbury, and we had Sister Noah, Marietta Wright, and others, Dana as well. And so in the first few months that I was there, while we were trying to find others to join our sales team, man, I was easily clocking up 70, 80 hours plus. But the thing that kept me in good stead, again, I saw my parents. Oh my gosh, didn't think it was going to go there on a life. I saw my parents work to the bone. And if anything, I remember my dad, my mum, 2-3 jobs each. Mum finish her cleaning job in town, come home, make our lunches and that, and then head back out to her next job. Dad at Ashley Wallpapers. And so when things got really tough and at any number of jobs, I'd always remember Mum and Dad and the example that they modelled me. It just so happened that in the final year that I worked at DHL Express, I was so blessed to win the top salesperson for New Zealand, and as part of that prize, I was able to go to Phuket in Thailand, 2010, 2011, when my name was called out, because we all thought it was going to be another sister who was topping the monthly sales targets and that, but it just so worked out that she joined just outside of the qualifying window for that year. And so when we went to the DHL sales conference up in Noosa, man, Noosa, all our Australians, neck level. And so they were announcing the salesperson for New Zealand, top salesperson for New Zealand. I was just sitting there looking at at our Taiwanese sister going, yeah, man, congratulations. Then called out, oh, Brian Sagalali. And I was like, I went, what? And then everybody looking at me, hey, David Belchin, Ronald Singh, Wizwan Salam, hey, all the sales brothers. It was like, oh my gosh. And I went up, and with the tears of joy in my eye, because Dad had only just passed maybe 2 years. He passed away in 2009. So when I walked up, and I just laughed. I just laughed because here I was, a kid from Ascot, from Porirua, top salesperson for New Zealand with no qualifications. But again, I modelled the work ethic that my parents and so many of our parents modelled during those times. You imagine the difficulty in coming to a new country, not just as Pasifika as islanders, but anyone coming to a new country and everything that they go through. My dad, he lived in New Zealand, 40 years? And I'm sure this is familiar for a lot of people. When Dad died, his English, the level of his English was pretty much the same as when he came to New Zealand, because he only ever hung out with his family, Samoans. At his job, it was all Samoans, and of course going to a Samoan church, and it was like, oh my gosh, his level of education didn't pass primary school level, and yet he was able to raise 4 amazing sons, if I do say so myself. I am the eldest of 4 boys. My brothers Yese, Bolo, who live in Australia, and then Soesi, our youngest brother, over in Samoa, Alesa, with his beautiful wife Bernice. Dad coming to New Zealand, raising 4 boys. Bought a house down in Ascot, brand new, 18 Conclusion Street, and then when him and Mum separated, buying a house here in a good old Mangere, in which I still live. And so always being thankful. Yes, there's so much kaka happening in the world today, family, but the thing is like, I like to, because I've been listening to a lot of Andrew Womack Ministries. Your life will follow the path of your most dominant thoughts, and so where you spend your time in terms of your mind, your thinking, that's where your life will go. Like the proverb, the tongue has the power of death and life. Stop speaking death over yourself and stop speaking death over others. I see online a lot of people, beefing and stuff like that. And it's like, man, where does it get you? It only puts our people down, and also gives opportunity for others to put us down, going, well, they're talking smack about their own self, so I might as well join the bandwagon. No. Speak life. Speak life, not death. Another analogy for the tongue, so very powerful. If you think of your tongue like a rudder of a waka, and the way you speak determining which way your life will navigate in the sea of life. Sorry about that. Come on now. I'll drop the mic myself. For that one. So yeah, God, I was only supposed to talk for about a minute or two. But I might just go through and see if there's, any other comments and that I can address or touch on. Your parents will always be your first teachers. Come on now. That's a great comment there. Somebody, Angry Bird. They are our greatest teachers. And even though, again, trauma is real in our Pasifika society, diaspora, and again, I put my hand up, I've attended counselling and I've worked through a lot of issues with relationship to my mum and that. But again, a lot of the teachings, a lot of the learnings, just by is it osmosis or observation? And again, one of the main ones is being the hard work ethic, and also just seeing the faithfulness of my parents in the jobs that they did, but also being part of a great church community, as with many of our Pasifika communities. Man, I remember growing up in Fakaofo, Waihimo and Porirua, and so many wonderful families. I won't soon forget. You've got the likes of the Aonos, Te Apes, Tuinga Malas, Leotas, what is it, Robetis, a number of great families who I remember and who I learnt from. And the old, for anyone growing up in church, the old Alfei Bese, being part of the church choir. A lot of people, non-Pasifika, wondering, man, why are you guys such good singers? Because we all grew up in the choir, eh? When we walk with the Lord in the light of His word, what a glory He sheds on our way. While we do His good will, He abides with us still. And to all who will trust and obey, trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus, but to trust and obey. And I'm one of the useless singers, so come on now. Okay, anything else? I quite like doing this, going, just got the number 1 gifter badge. Oh, I got a gifter badge. Oh, okay, whatever that means. Paradise. Is that you, Perry? Paradise from Gizzy. Hello, dear, hope you are well. And what is School C? Okay, School C is the equivalent of NCEA here in New Zealand. So I forgot what year they introduced NCEA, but prior to NCEA, we had a school certificate, which was fifth form, I think year 12 or 11. And then if you passed School CC, if you passed, not everybody gets a pass, the curve bell, if you passed, which was 50% and 50% or higher, you were then allowed access to move up to sixth form, where you could then sit university entrance. So much different. Molipula. Okay, what is Molipula? So Molipula, so my dad is from the villages of Vaiee in Safaka. And so there is a video which, oh man, it's still going gangbusters, where shows me doing an introduction at a wedding for an amazing couple. And part of that I said, well, I mispronounced it at the time, and I was quickly corrected in the comments, and my apologies. But Molipula, te maiti ole Molipula, so orange, a colour which is associated with Vaiee in Safata, village in Samoa, and a colour for konginga, whether it be, our sporting teams and that. And so that's where Molipula. So for Samoans, if you say, yeah, or aura kamaro Molipula, or yeah, we are, people will know straight away that that's where we're from, Vaiee and Safaka. Okay, Pasifika Achievements Highlight. Yes, come on. Okay, do you remember a creepy lady always chasing after the Aotea bus at the mall? No, but I tell you what, I'm sorry, I forgot the brother's name. So sometimes I used to catch the bus school, but most of us would just be walking up the hill back home to Ascot Park. But there was one time I went to catch the bus, and there was a brother in front of me. I forgot his name. I think it was a Rawiri, one of them, the Māori bros, and he went to hop on, but the driver must not have seen him, and so he closed the doors. And so I was inside the bus, and this is what it looked like, him coming onto the bus, but the doors were closing, and the doors closed on his face, and we're like this. Sorry, bro, if you're watching this, but it was funny. Okay. But I don't remember a creepy lady always chasing after the Aotea bus at the mall. No. My dad's sister lived on Mungavin. Yeah, Mungavin. And from Porirua, we had the Mungavin community hall. Man, if that place could talk, how many socials I went to over the years at Mungavin Hall. And then for us growing up, young boys straight after the league games, go down and watch the netball court so we could have a look at the girls playing netball. Kia ora. But Mungavin Hall, yes, one of the most memorable ones, a sister by the name of Liz Tanielu, she had her 21st at Mungavin Community Hall. I never seen anything like it before or since at her 21st. So when it was time to present her 21st key and presents, they opened up the main doors to outside, and I was like, what's going on here? And they pushed in a brand new hatchback. It was a brand new red hatchback, which had the presents inside the hatchback, the 21st presents, and I went, sorry about it. I haven't seen anything like it since, and I thought, man, you guys. Okay, what else? You're awesome, and I love your mahi. Have you ever emceed for the mob? No, I have not ever emceed for the mob, but I have emceed events where organisers and that have walked the other side of the road, if you will, and I didn't find out until after. But you know what? It didn't bother me, because it's like, okay, then without finding out afterwards your connection, but just the relationship and meeting organisers, like, no issues at all. So yes, no, I have never emceed for the mob. Oh my gosh. Welcome to Porirua, bro. Welcome to P-Town, P-Town for life. I hear this so often, and my wife says, used to say that to me a lot, and I think even within Wellington, people from Porirua, we're just different, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's something similar to Otara, which I have actually noticed from a lot of my friends and family in Otara. I don't know if it's a chip on the shoulder or just a bit of the swagger or something like that, but yeah. So when I do a lot of events, when I MC a lot of events over the years, and there have been a number of events where, man, the nerves just get a hold of me, like really, really bad. But then I've already been paid. It's do or die. How many weeks prepping up to the event? And so what I usually do, if I find myself in that place where the nerves are really starting to take over, I say in my teachings, in my lessons about emceeing, think about the audience. Don't take the focus off yourself and focus on the audience. But even when that doesn't work, bro, I get real primal. I get real basic. It's that fight or flight thing. And it must be the Escort Porirua boy in me. It's like, well, you're either going to do it or you don't, and praise the Lord. It's never been walk away and like, okay, here's your money. But it's like, stuff this, and it just go. Okay, how's your day? My day is very well, thank you. Thank you so much, really appreciate it. I got so stoked listening to your own MC introduction. Thank you so much, really appreciate it. OG Porirua. No, I'm not an OG. Well, I'm old, but age is relative, 54, but you know what? 50 is the new 40. Come on, now. That's what 50-year-olds say, yes, and growing up in Porirua, the world capital of Tokelau. Come on now. I think when I was growing up in Porirua in the 70s and 80s, that there were more tokes, more Tokelau than Samoans, followed by cookies or raros. That's another funny thing. When I moved to Auckland, I only found out when I moved to Auckland, and especially when I started working at 531 PI, there was actually other islands apart from Rarotonga, because growing up, whenever I went, friends and school and stuff like that, or all my cookie mates, I go, oh, where are you from? And they always say, oh, I'm from Raro. It's like, I'm from Raro. And it's like, oh, okay. So I just thought, oh, it's just Rarotonga. Only to find out 15 islands, 16 islands. Sorry, my cookie family. 15, 16 islands. So from as far north as Penryn, as Palmerston, Pamiti, where is it, Nassau, Puka Puka to as far south as Tokoroa. Aitutaki 2.0. Aitutaki 2.0. Come on now. What else have we got? Let me check if there are any more questions. Please feel free if you have any questions, family, you'd like to put. Of course, the reason I've been more consistent on socials since January, February this year is to be able to get more MC work. I'm not shy about it. That's the number one reason. But apart from MCing, there's also hosting, broadcasting, doing acting. Went for an audition yesterday, went really well, and we'll see how it goes. Also, offering services as a brand ambassador. So for any business owners and you want to tell the story of your brand, I'm more than happy to come along and to do talanoa, as I've been doing with Wana Talanoa series, which I've started, going on to, I think, episode 4 tomorrow, episode 4 or 5. We're going to be speaking with the amazing Tony Solomona. So that's going to be streamed live on my YouTube and Facebook channels. Channels, the incredible Tony Solomona, originally from Wellington himself, 20 years frontline police, and over the last few years taking a real amazing journey in education, currently working on a PhD towards better, a PhD on a better. So around 7 o'clock tomorrow night, please, family, if you're free, tune into my Facebook or YouTube pages. It's Ma'a, M-A', just like Ma'anonu. It's funny, after Ma'anonu came to prominence in rugby, because I think I'm about 10 or 11 years older than him, but growing up in Poro back in the 70s or that, oh my gosh, one of those ones, is all our children of the blue continent, Pasifika Polynesian diaspora will well be aware. Masagali, Mega Saganaga, Maga Sagalaga Liki. So when I moved to Auckland, my first job was at social welfare, or work and income these days, in Atafu. And the first person I met was the lovely Silla Lepua, rest in love, Sister Silla. And she asked me what my name was. And in that split second, after 17 years as Ma'a, I thought, I just use my middle name, Brian. So Brian, B-R-I-A-N, I was named after Tui Whaasasina, Lesosungia Tui Whaasasina, Brian Williams, the first Pasifika Samoan global rugby superstar before the likes of Jonah and Inga and so forth. And so 1970, I was born in November 1970, and he had toured South Africa earlier in the year, and he made such waves in South Africa. And so I was named after him, but he spelled B-R-Y-A-N. So thanks, Mum and Dad, B-R-I-A-N. And if you're wanting to know the origin of the name Brian, it's Celtic in origin and nature, and it means chief. So, Stone Chief Sangala. Sounds like a wrestling name, eh? Stone Chief Sangala. So I used Brian, and now thinking back, because I've been in Auckland over 30-something years now, 35, 36 years, it's a bit confusing. Well, people that I grew up with and family know me as Ma, and then others as Brian. So if I could go back in time and Silla asked me then again, what's your name? I would have just said Brian. Any more? Are you Tokelauan, Uncle? No, I'm not Tokelauan, but I grew up with Tokes, again, being from the world capital, Tokelau. So again, so many wonderful families, Bakers, Arius, Pātele Hio, Risatis, Setahano, Perez's. I already said Bakers and that, Savilios growing up back in the day. So I was so blessed to grow up, to play at the world famous Tokelau Rugby League Club, St. George Dragons. And for those old enough, I even played for Porirua City Phoenix back in the day. Remember Porirua City Phoenix? And my first team that I ever played for in Porirua was actually the Vikings, but Waitangirua Vikings. I'm pretty sure Waitangirua was the first iteration, first home base for the Vikings. But so played for Waitai, Vikings, Porirua City Phoenix, and Esau, and then St. George Dragons. So many fond memories. Hey, are you Tokelau? No, but here's my Tokelau greeting for you. Tūlau te whakaatua, vena te uruhina te mana mamātua mātutua. Haka mālo te mālohi o te hindu, kai mai se te tilihu. Urutono mai ki tō tātou aho tā ua tēnei. Okay. And that was taught to me by Sister Risati. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Sini, yes, Sister Risati, founder of the Matiliki preschool here in Mangere, not far from me. So yes, which leads me to, so at the moment, as part of my repertoire, I have about 10 Pasifika and Māori greetings. So during my time at 531 PI, I befriended all our Pacific language producers and that. And so Liz Tanielu, who I mentioned earlier, a number of years ago, when she hired me to do a gig for a Pacific event, and she said to me, I don't want to hear that, Pacific greetings, or, warm Pacific greetings. Give me something different. So I thought, oh, why not? I'm working at 531 PI and I have access to all these amazing native language speakers. And so I asked each of the language producers to write and to record a greeting, which I then pretty much, like White Sunday, Loko Kameki, I memorized. I think it took about maybe a good month, about a month or two to really do it justice in that. And I've had comments over the years where native speakers have commended me in my pronunciation, but I don't take any credit. All I was good at was just listening and memorizing. I give all credit to the language producers at 531 PI who were so generous with their time and their passion regarding the various languages they taught. But it's one thing to learn in the comfort of your bedroom, in the comfort of home, and that where you can make mistakes and practice in front of the mirror. The real test is when you're in front of a live audience and you know for a fact that there are native speakers from every single greeting that you have learnt. But again, at the end of the day, you just got to go. And the first time I did this was at an event for Ministry for Pacific Peoples. It was at Eden Park, and there was about maybe 500 people there. We had MPs, government ministers there, and you just think to yourself, oh, you're well. But I did it, and it's like, yeah, it didn't go 100% to plan, but people were very appreciative. And over the years where I've had opportunities, especially at anything to do with Pasifika language and that, I like to bring out the greetings, not as a gimmick, not as a trick or whatever, but just to honour the various diaspora among our Pasifika communities. And the last one I learnt, Alfie Prasad from Rotuma Language Program, 531 PI, I'm not sure if still producer there. And this one's a Rotuman greeting. Se te ne ngangaj ne opo mia e noa ia e Māori. Islan wa noa ia se oitu, e reko on ororomo ki ngā, se os mai te tua tukoa, e spo mehele se te ronit ti i. O nafli o ni hoipoanga, se te ne os ngangaj atakoa. Whikau ne rotu, makoi nang atakoa ne opo mia e fa ne ngangaj oitulu olorom ek, os the ati is Fayexia. Now, the first time I shared that Rotuman greeting, there's a sister, a very prominent Rotuman figure, a business person in the Rotuman community, and also a very strong advocate for Rotuman language and preservation. She came up to me during the break and she was just hugging me and just going, oh my gosh. And even Alfie, who provided the recording and taught me, was so very impressed. And so for me, that's the big one. Whenever I have been complimented on greetings from native speakers, it's like, man, because at the end of the day, employing that, another way to highlight our beautiful Pasifika diaspora, especially with many of our Pacific languages that are endangered, UNESCO on the endangered languages list by UNESCO. Okay, let's see if there's any other questions. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time today. I really, really appreciate it. And just joining this old young fella, while I'm sharing, spitting the brie, whatever you call it. Yeah. Any other questions? No. And let me scroll all the way down. Anything else? I got, oh, no, that one has already been. No, my wife is not Bernice. She's my sister-in-law. So Bernice, I think Betham is the maiden name, is married to my youngest brother, Swesi Sangala, and they live in Alesa in Samoa, looking after Bernice's mum and also helping with the coffee plantation. So, yeah, thank you. Kia ora. Any other questions? Hai ma'a manuia le aso. Ia whapena fo'i. Loretta, bless you, dear. Any other questions? I think that's... Oh, and I've got the somebody here who's below Vale on live. See, here's another thing too that I didn't take into account or factor in regarding doing lives and also being more active on social media. The number of people that come out and, man, you can get people that are really trying to cut you at the knees and that. So I just want to acknowledge this person who below valid me. That's all good. You can keep, again, when you're raised by a Samoan woman, people, they're trying to play the mind games. Oh, here's an example. When I was working at 531 PI and former CEO, a lovely Samoan brother, and I was in the studio doing, working and doing voice breaks and that. And so there's also, he walked in, didn't say a word, just walked over to the corner of the studio and just stood there for about a minute or two. No interaction, no acknowledgement, no dialogue, no talking with me whatsoever. And then they just walked out. And I just continued doing my job and that was working. And then I was thinking, that's weird. But then I just laughed and I was saying to myself, also, please, if you think you can do mind games, you haven't met my mother, because nobody can do mind games like Samoan mums. And you guys know, you guys. Yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, good on you, bro. So even though I'm acknowledging this person at below Valley to me, it's like, it's something that I read about Matthew Ridge, a former league player, played Blues, Auckland rugby legend, played for the Warriors, played for Manly, won a premiership with Manly. I read his biography, and one of the things he said, it's not that I don't, it's not that I'm not hurt by what people say, it's just that I don't let what people say stop me from what I'm wanting to do. And so, for example, and also if you're still watching, good on you, this person, Palau Vale online, it's like, doesn't bother me because my identity is not found in this comment. It's not even found in all the social media stuff that I'm doing right now, though it was when I first started. Every single day when I first started posting consistently, it was like, oh man, look at me, I got how many views? And then you put up a video. And for those that put up any post, you know what I'm talking about, when it's like you think, oh man, this is gonna go viral, this is gonna go, and then next minute, I haven't got any views. So for maybe encouragement to other digital creators or those that are looking to grow their brand, their presence online, just from my little experience at the moment, just consistency, just being consistent and not allowing the noise of naysayers or haters, because again, my identity is not found in people, but come on now, faith. Isaiah chapter 26 verse 3. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. So come on now, don't get me started. Psalms chapter 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk, not yea, though I dwell, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will Fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And while we're on the word, Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 to 6, encouragement for everybody out there tuning in right now. Oh my gosh, now I have to do it right from the beginning. Proverbs chapter 3, my son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments, for length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck, write them upon the table of thine heart. So shalt thou find favour and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Here we go. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 to 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. It's been an interesting journey of faith, going full-time as an MC since February this year. And I've really had to press into God, into Papa, and just be faithful with what he's blessed me with, and combine that. I saw a message and I wrote it up on the top of my daily planner: work hard, trust God, and inquire of the Lord daily. And I find that as I'm just being faithful in what I'm doing in terms of emceeing, in terms of preparation, in terms of reaching out for potential gigs in there, Papa, God, he's been so faithful in the doors that he's opened. And it's something that even after 30 years emceeing longer than many of you watching have been alive, it's still the greatest honor, still the greatest privilege to be able to serve in the gifts and the talents that I've been blessed with. I like to think about the parable that Jesus shared about the talents are one given 5, one given 3, and one given 1. I've only been blessed with 1 talent, but as I've been faithful with this talent over the years, God has just opened up doors again in the area of media, performing arts, and also emceeing in that. And so again, something I never take for granted. Any other 07 to join? Okay, no. Did you? No, I didn't grow up in PIPC. I grew up in Fakaofo Waihemo in Porirua, but I do know many brothers and sisters from PIC down in Porirua. The ones that come to mind, of course, the Malekos, the PIC down there at the creek, and as well as the Te'os. Anything else? Hello from East Auckland. Hey, let's go to the East. I was just out East this morning. Do we still consider Mount Wellington East Auckland? Is that East or nah? Okay then, my auntie visiting, so dropping her off in Mount Wellington out east in there. Hello, hey, from Gisborne, travel page 9198 Gisborne. Yes, very, very fond connection and love with Gisborne. My wife from Te Araroa, place right on the east coast, around the corner from Ruatoria. And so over the years, mate, but that gorge, you don't drive through the gorge accidentally. You don't drive through that gorge accidentally. So from here in Mangere, it usually takes us about 6 to 8 hours to go down to Gizzy. One of the grandkids visiting from Gizzy at the moment. But man, nothing like Gizzy in the summer rain. And for me, the closest thing, as well as up north to the island, just the beaches, the people, the vibe. Man, whenever I go to Gizzy, especially during summer, I like to take off my watch, coasty time. Come on now, Route 35. Hey, no any simi. No, simi, maybe simi, I think simi, there's a simi from Ascot Park. Noia e Moody, Brian, Faexia, Moody. Okay, they're all my family work ethic discussion. Yeah, amen. Manuel Leaso, yes, Loretta. I think that's it, family, for now. Again, I just want to thank everyone for joining me and just, shooting the breeze, sharing. And I hope that you took some encouragement from today's talanoa. Again, another shout out to all our Tokelau community. Please go to the Auckland Tokelau Society Incorporated Facebook page, ATSI, and purchase your ticket for the Tokelau Royale Winter Ball taking place on Saturday, the 26th of July at Malaiola Community Centre from 6 p.m. through to 11 p.m. Tickets again only $120, and again I'll say it again, if you are shocked at the price of $120, then you haven't been looking at how much you spent on KFC over the KFC or that. Oh, okay, so my live is going to end. Hey, I just had these things come up, so what is it? There we go. Oh my gosh. So my live is ending in about 5 minutes. Wow, I didn't know I could talk for that long. So yes, from proud son, father, grandfather, husband, I just want to thank you all again for joining me. Really, really appreciate it. And I want to finish in prayer. Father, you are so good. I thank you, Father, for every single person that is watching and every family represented watching today and joining me on this live talanoa. Father, I give you all the praise and all the glory, and I thank you for your goodness, your grace, your love. I thank you for your unconditional love towards us, and I thank you, Father, you loved us so much that you gave your only begotten Son, Jesus, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Father, I declare your blessing, I declare your favor, I declare your provision, your prosperity over every person watching and their families, and Father, especially for our young ones. Father, fulfill the amazing purpose that you have for our young people that are watching, and Father, that they would be encouraged, Father, that they would know that they are loved, they are seen, that they are heard, and Father, that you, the creator of the universe, loves them so intimately. Father, you love us so much. Your word that tells us you love us so much that you count every hair on our head, whether you've got a lot or not. And so again, Father, thank you. I praise you. I give you all the glory and honor. Bless this day in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, family. Okay, tei lahi lele. God bless to whāsoifua. And we might do this again next week or there. But again, tomorrow night at around 7 o'clock, please, doing a live on my Facebook page, Ma'a Brian Sangala YouTube page. Going to be speaking with the incredible Tony Solomona. And of course, if you have an event that you are looking for an MC, can I humbly offer my services? You can DM me on TikTok. You can email me at mbsangala, all one word, Ma'a Brian Sangala, mbsangala at gmail.com, or you can visit my website, briansangala.co.nz. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your day, and remember, family, look after one another. Pasifika.